Today, Real Madrid has beaten Espanyol by 3 goals. So let's first react to our coach Carlo Ancelotti's reactions, and later I'll react to Elo Moreno's reaction.
With Carlo Ancelotti, congratulations for the win.
Thank you.
This is the reaction that you were expecting from your team?
Well, yes, it was a good reaction, but we hope to act, not react. We did a mistake in a long ball. We conceded a goal, and after that we were able slowly to be back in the game, to equalize the game, and to score a fantastic goal with Militao. Second half, the intensity of the game was not so high, but we had a good control until the end.
Well, that's a fair point. You can have some bad moments, right? You can sometimes concede goals, and that is unexpected sometimes. And this is one of those moments. But it's not how you react, it's how you respond. And Real Madrid has done really good job today. As Carlo already pointed out, the match was not really high tempo. Honestly, we did not need a high tempo match before Liverpool game. Despite we were 3 goals ahead in Liverpool tie, we still have to play our best. We still have to play the second tie. So it's not the worst idea to play a low tempo match before that game.
It's good to have this version of Vinicius back as well.
Yeah, Vinicius played well, scored a fantastic goal, similar to the goal against Liverpool. His attitude was really good. He was focused on the game. He did well, and so this is what we expect from him.
It's a key week, the one.
Well, to be honest, that Vinicius goal made the difference. Once you conceded a goal, you need a goal to do something. And Vinicius scored a beautiful goal. Now, what I like about this goal is the placement. He focused on the placement rather than the power. And that's why this goal is special to me. Also, you can criticize Vinicius for different reasons. But listen to me. He's the best player for us this season so far.
That is starting. You have the Champions League game that you have to close to go through the quarterfinals, and El Clásico. Do you have the team where you want it?
Yeah, I think so. We have no problem for this. I think that mentally, as a motivation, we are going to be at the top for this game. The squad is used to prepare this kind of game at the best, and for sure we will be at the best because there are really important games, both of them.
Listen, this time our focus should be 100% on Liverpool game. We should not be even thinking minute distance about El Clásico. That's secondary. Right now, all focus should be on Liverpool.
Ali Moreno, I suppose at the moment, from a Real Madrid perspective, a win is a win, Ali.
Yeah, you'll take it. Certainly so. And given the negative momentum going into this match, the struggles, the pressure, the criticism, it was important to get 3 points. Now, I think something that Carlo Ancelotti just said there is really important in that, yes, he liked the reaction of his team, but that he would want action so that they didn't have to react to anything, so that right away from the start of the game, they were in control and therefore would be able to then win this game because of how much better they are than Espanyol. But 10, 15 minutes in, it had been all Espanyol all the time. And if there was ever, I guess, a game in which you scored too early, it was this for Espanyol. They scored in the 8th minute, had another chance a couple minutes later in a header by Vinicius Sousa. Thibaut Courtois comes up with a save. It could have been 2-0. In fact, it should have been 2-0. It wasn't. And then Espanyol they just couldn't help themselves.
So before reacting to what he said, let's first talk about the commentary today. Today, Elo Moreno was commentating for this game for US viewers. Unfortunately, his commentary is so awful. He doesn't have any business in commentary. I have no idea. ESPN, you are one of the gigantic broadcast. Why are you putting Elo Moreno as a commentator? That's not his job. That's not he's good at. He's good as a pundit, not as a commentator. So put someone who is good as a good commentator. Anyway, also I do agree what he said about Real Madrid's performance today, especially 10 to 15 minutes of Espanyol's performance. That was a little bit problematic for Real Madrid. In fact, the amount of high intensity and high pressing I was seeing from Espanyol, I didn't expect it. I expected this game should be easy. will just walk the game and simple. But that wasn't the case. And for a team like Espanyol, it's not possible to persist that kind of pressing against a team like Real Madrid.
Their natural reaction was to protect, natural reaction was to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And when they did that, they allowed Real Madrid, that hadn't been all that great up until that moment, to take possession of the ball, to go on the attack. And no better example than that than the Vinicius goal, where he's essentially allowed to walk inside the 18-yard box. There's a lot of players from Espanyol around him, but nobody's defending. And this is what Espanyol did a lot today. They had a lot of numbers behind the ball, but not enough pressure on the ball in deep areas. Real Madrid took over, their quality took over. 3 points, and it's 3 points that are very important because I think it lays a path by which Real Madrid can think that the comeback is possible. Maybe Barcelona drops points against Athletic Bilbao away from home tomorrow. And if that's the case, then you're looking into El Clásico with a whole lot more optimism than you were last week.
Well, look at Espanyol's squad and look at their team and look at how they played so far this season. Not so great. So it wasn't unexpected they would drop back because they scored first goal. So ideally, when you play against Real Madrid, how do you beat Real Madrid? What we have seen so far as evidence this season, you have to drop back and defend as a team. 11 players at the defenders. That's the only way you can beat Real Madrid. And that's the only teams that Real Madrid struggle against all the time. Park the bus team, they are like nightmare for Real Madrid. And fortunately for us, it was easier after Vinicius' goal. Now let's talk about the goal Real Madrid conceded. First of all, it was a mistake at midfield from Tchoumani, and then Camavinga, and then Militao. I think all three of them were responsible for this goal. Camavinga didn't react enough. Militao was so late to react. But we move on. And eventually Militao paid off by scoring a nice header. And Tchoumani also, what a pass. When Tchoumani passed that pass, I'm like, wow, that's like a Modric and Vinicius skill pass. Also, Militao is getting better and better at heading. And this season, I think he scored the most goals from header for us. And for Real Madrid's third goal. What a dribbling by Nacho. The way he dribbles felt like Modric was dribbling. Every Espanyol players, they were focusing on Vinicius. So Nacho had a lot of space and he found Asensio and who scored the goal. Overall, job done, professional performance for Real Madrid. I was content with the performance. Also, we are now 6 points adrift from Barcelona, who are playing Athletic Bilbao at their home. We don't know what's going on, but I don't see our chance to win La Liga this season, I think is over. But we don't know what will happen in the future. Moreover, tactically, we have to discuss some important points. First of all, I have said in, I think, last video that one of our informed player right now is Ceballos. My question is, why we are not playing in the starting 11? Like Kroos and Modric, they are veteran players. We love them, 100%. They are club legends. But right now, we also have to focus on our future. And Ceballos is one of them. So ideally, you could play Ceballos, Tchoumani, or Modric at midfield. What I don't understand, when a player plays his best, he's in form, the logical step should be to give him game time. Yes, he played 30 minutes, but I would like to see him playing more than 30 minutes. Second point, I also like the tactical switch of Nacho instead of Rudiger. I think that's a good idea. I think every player deserves some time. Third, the most important one. Okay, I understand Rodrigo had to play as a striker or false nine or center forward, whatever you want to say, because Benzema wasn't available. But we have a new gem in our squad, Alvaro. He has shined. He has shown that he has potential. Once a player gets his form and he shows some performance, what's the logical step? Gave him some game time. So ideally, what should be done? I would play Alvaro as a striker, and honestly, I'd put him after the first half because he deserves time, and I think that should be done because he's the only player in our squad right now who has shown that, who can play like a striker, who makes run, who asks for the ball, and who has a physical ability. I just don't understand why Carlo doesn't like our Castilla player. Despite their performance, we are not giving them time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about today's performance.